Okay, I just want to do this video because the manipulations I'm seeing in the world are at a point where humanity is at a spiritual evolution, where the divine feminine the energies have come into balance with the divine masculine, and we have the opportunity, which we are doing, of creating heaven on Mother Earth through that divine union, and for us being in balance with each other, men and women. And what I'm seeing is this whole manipulation again of turning that on its head for these entities that have controlled humanity for time immemorial to hold on to that. And I watched the BAFTAs last night, first time in 20 odd years since the 1990s, and I had that intuition to do that. And I'm so glad I did, because just the beginning of it was a revelation of what's really going on here and what I'm seeing, and it just everything just coming to one excuse the pun, in that show, in that award ceremony. I mean, for it to begin with a dance of the shape of water, Age of Aquarius, with a reptilian being, with a human woman conjoining, mating, embracing. And this is part of the manipulation that is coming, that I see, and that's what I want to talk about as well. But then on top of that, you have the whole manipulation of time's up, time's up, apparently women's rights. And this is a mechanism of dividing men from women, which also I think relates to this reptilian agenda, and I'll go on to that. But at the moment, at a time where we should be coming together like never before, where so many decent men wish to honour and be with our loving decent women, and they're turning this on their head, creating that conflict, creating the division. That's what this time's up movement is about. And the other thing you need to investigate and look at, since medieval times, the actors in the theatre, the travelling theatres, always had men playing the roles of women. And it's really peculiar that Sally Hawkins, the lady who wearing the red dress, as you see, the star leading role in Made in Dagenham, was also the leading role in The Shape of Water. And what you really need to look into and understand is that nothing's changed since medieval times. And that's what you really need to investigate, because our society is saturated within men being imposters and acting as women, or dressing up as women. And this is what part of the Transsexual Agenda is about, because all this is going to come out, and they're creating a ground for it to be accepted. So when you have so many women in Hollywood pronouncing time's up, when they're actually the opposite, and they're not standing up for women's rights, all they're standing up for is for women to act like men, which is probably what they are. And this is all for our society, high up in political circles, throughout sport. And if there's ever anything that needs to be stood up for women's rights, it's the amount of transsexuals in world sport at the present time. I won't name names, but I will say one thing. My nan loved Wimbledon. She loved it. Watched it every year. And the one thing she always said, and she was very intuitional, my nan, without knowing it a lot of the time, she goes, I don't like that Serena Williams. I'm sorry, she looks like a man. I'm telling you, nan, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. So meanwhile, while you have a lot of these imposters preaching about women's rights and women's lives and not doing anything really in the real world to combat that, to do anything to create that equality, this agenda's going on. And it's part of a reptilian agenda. Because what's happening, this is all going to come out very, very soon. I'm telling you. This is the necklace of the mysteries in Credo Mutua. It was stolen from him in Africa some years ago.